our government got to know that such a tragic incident has happened, the Prime Minister immediately convened a meeting and instructed us to reach to Kuwait immediately and take all possible steps so that the mortal remains can be sent back as soon as possible, because that's the least that we could have done. So we reached Kuwait, and the Honorable Prime Minister had already spoken to the authorities there, to the Foreign Minister there, and to His Highness the Emir there. And I would like to say my thanks to the authorities that they did all possible, they took all possible measures, and they really fully cooperated in having all the paperwork completed, the identification done in such a short time, because normally this could have taken a week or at least 10 days. But on Prime Minister's insistence, the authorities were very quick about it. They immediately undertook the task of completing the formalities, and we managed to bring back the bodies here as soon as possible. We also visited 5 hospitals where there were around 32 to 35 patients who were being treated of Indian origin who were injured in that fire. And we spoke to them individually, we inquired about their health, and all the hospitals and the directors were there. And I would also like to thank the hospital staff of each hospital that exceptional care is being taken by the hospital staff and the doctors of those patients. And most of them are likely to be discharged in a couple of days.
So how challenging it was, this distribution?
See, we do not look at it how challenging it was. It had to be done. We took all possible steps, all possible efforts to have it done. And normally, as I said before, this would have taken at least a week, 10 days. But because of the good relationships between our government and the Kuwaiti government, and the sensitive issue that it was, and especially with the Prime Minister's intervention on this part, on his part, the royal family of Kuwait, the officials, the ministers, His Highness of Kuwait, they all took personal interest so that the bodies could be brought back as soon as possible. And in the hospitals, we are told that His Highness has called up the hospital people and the Minister for Health personally, and the Minister of Health has himself done rounds of the hospitals where the people injured are being treated.
So in Kuwait, the Kuwait government has taken up the inquiry. Any details about that inquiry?
Yes, the Kuwaiti government is taking this incident very seriously, and they're taking all possible steps. They're making inquiries as to how it happened, so that this kind of a tragic incident is never repeated again. And they assured us that they will take all possible steps. They have also assured us that all the paperwork regarding the insurance that is to be paid to the families, the compensation, will be done as immediately as possible. And His Highness has also, from his part, also provided a compensation to the families of the victims who have perished in this tragic incident.
So one more thing, only 35 persons dead bodies are just in Trivandrum, in Kochi. So what about the rest people? Some are...
No, I'll give you the details. 31 victims are from Kerala and surrounding southern states. Those remains are being offloaded here. The remaining will be offloaded in Delhi, and then from there they'll be transferred to their respective homes.
So you discussed the arrangements that happened in Kerala right now?
I'm sorry?
The arrangements that are done in Kerala. So
That is, no, I'm not aware of that. We've just come out from the airplane, and those arrangements are being done by the government here, and I'm sure they'll be adequate.
there are a lot of injured persons out there in Kuwait. So what about their cases? Will they...
I just spoke to you about that the people who were injured in this incident, they are in hospitals in various, and they have been put in 5 different hospitals, which are the best hospitals of the country. And we visited all the 5 hospitals, and we met with all the injured people individually, each and every one of them, inquired about their health. And the doctors and the team and the directors of the hospital were accompanying us to each patient. And individually we inquired about their health, their well-being. We took stock of the injuries, how long will it take them to be discharged. So there were some with fractures who had jumped from the 2nd floor or the 4th floor. Obviously the fractures will take some time to heal. They will be in the hospital for a couple of weeks. But the other persons who had inhaled smoke and had harm, and lungs were harmed to some degree. I'm happy to say that they're recovering very rapidly, and most of them are going to be discharged in a couple of days from the hospitals.
Persons very seriously injured in ICU or something?
There were 3 people in the ICU, of which 2 are recovering in the proper way. And there's 1 person who the doctors will be keeping in the ICU for some time. There's just 1 person who they are very hopeful of recovery, but it will just take a bit longer.